In the heart of Rome, amidst the grandeur of the eternal city, a woman of deep faith and boundless charity left an indelible mark on history. Her name was Francesca Romana, a noble woman, a wife, a mother, and ultimately, a saint. This is her story. Born in 1384 to a wealthy and devout Roman family, Francesca Busa de Leone was destined for a privileged life. But from an early age, she felt a calling deeper than earthly wealth. She longed to dedicate herself entirely to God. However, like many young women of her time, duty called her to marriage. At the age of 12, Francesca was married to Lorenzo Ponziani, a nobleman of great esteem. Though her heart yearned for a life of contemplation, she embraced her new role with humility and grace. As a wife and mother, she balanced her responsibilities while dedicating herself to prayer and service. She turned her home into a place of charity, providing food, clothing, and care to the poor and sick of Rome. The turbulence of 15th-century Rome brought great suffering. War, famine, and disease struck her household. Francesca faced personal losses, including the death of 2 of her children. Yet, rather than despair, she found solace in deepening her trust in God. It was in these trials that her saintly virtues shone brightest. In time, Francesca was joined by like-minded women who shared her desire to live a life of holiness and service. In 1425, she founded the Oblates of Tor de Specchi, a religious community of women who, while not bound by vows, lived in piety and charity under Francesca's guidance. They devoted themselves to the care of the sick and the poor, following the rule of Saint Benedict. Throughout her life, Francesca was known for her extraordinary spiritual gifts. She experienced visions, ecstasies, and was even said to have been accompanied by an angel who guided and protected her. Her wisdom and holiness attracted many, and even in times of trial, her faith remained unshaken. After the passing of her husband, Francesca spent her final years living among the Oblates at Tor de Specchi. In 1440, at the age of 56, she peacefully entered into eternal rest. Her sanctity was recognized far and wide, and in 1608, Pope Paul V canonized her as Saint Francesca Romana. Today, Saint Francesca Romana remains a shining example of faith, humility, and selfless love. Her legacy endures in the lives of those who continue her mission of service. May her story inspire us all to live lives of compassion, prayer, and unwavering trust in God. Saint Francesca Romana, pray for us. In the midst of a crumbling empire and a church facing great turmoil, a steadfast leader arose, Pope Saint Simplicius. His papacy marked a time of transition, faith, and perseverance. Join us as we explore the life and legacy of this remarkable shepherd of the Church. Simplicius was born in Tivoli, Italy, in the early 5th century. Little is known of his early life, but he was ordained a priest and eventually rose to become the Bishop of Rome on March 3, 468. He took the papal throne at a time of great unrest. The Western Roman Empire was in its final years, and the Church faced challenges both within and outside its walls. During his papacy, Simplicius witnessed the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476, when the last emperor, Romulus Augustulus, was deposed by the barbarian leader Odoacer. With the empire in collapse, the role of the Church grew even more vital in preserving order, faith, and tradition. One of Simplicius' most significant contributions was his firm stand against heresies that threatened the unity of the Church. He defended the teachings of the Council of Chalcedon against Monophysitism, a belief that denied the 2 natures of Christ. His leadership ensured that the faith remained strong and undivided. Pope Simplicius also left a lasting mark on the city of Rome by commissioning the construction and restoration of several churches, including the Basilica of St. Stephen and St. Bibiana. His dedication to the faith was not only spiritual but also physical, ensuring places of worship for future generations. After 15 years of devoted service, Pope Simplicius passed away on March 10, 483. His leadership helped the Church navigate one of its most turbulent eras, and his faith laid the foundation for the growing influence of the papacy in the medieval world. Though centuries have passed, the legacy of Pope Saint Simplicius endures. His unwavering commitment to the faith, his guidance in times of crisis, and his defense of church teachings remain an inspiration to believers today. May we, like Saint Simplicius, stand firm in our faith, uphold the truth, and trust in God's providence. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories of faith and resilience. In the turbulent times of 17th century Scotland, a man of faith stood against persecution, defying the crown in the name of his beliefs. His name, St. John Ogilvie, a Jesuit priest and martyr. Born in 1579 in Drum, Scotland, John Ogilvie was raised in a noble Calvinist family. But his search for truth led him beyond his homeland. As a young man, he traveled across Europe, where he encountered the teachings of the Catholic Church. Inspired and convinced, he converted to Catholicism and joined the Jesuit order in 1599. Ordained a priest in 1610, Father Ogilvie was assigned a dangerous mission, to return to Scotland, where Catholicism had been outlawed under King James VI. Despite the risk, he ministered in secret, offering Mass, hearing confessions, and bringing the sacraments to the persecuted faithful. His mission did not go unnoticed. In 1614, he was betrayed by an informant and arrested in Glasgow. Interrogated and tortured, he was pressured to renounce his faith and acknowledge the king's supremacy over the church. But John Ogilvie stood firm, refusing to deny the Pope's authority. After a sham trial, he was sentenced to death for treason. On March 10, 1615, he was hanged at Glasgow Cross. His final words echoed his unwavering faith: "If there be here any hidden Catholics, let them pray for me. But the rest, I will pray for you." For centuries, John Ogilvie's sacrifice was remembered by the Scottish Catholic community. In 1976, Pope Paul VI canonized him, making him Scotland's only post-Reformation saint. Today, St. John Ogilvie remains a symbol of courage, faith, and devotion. His story challenges us to stand firm in our beliefs, no matter the cost. St. John Ogilvie, pray for us. Throughout history, the Church has been blessed with holy and courageous leaders who stood firm in their faith. One such figure is Saint Sophronius of Jerusalem, a man of deep faith, wisdom, and resilience. Born around the year 560 in Damascus, Syria, Sophronius was a man of great intellect and devotion. From a young age, he showed a deep love for learning and spirituality, earning the title, the Sophist, for his mastery of rhetoric and philosophy. Desiring a life of prayer and asceticism, he left the comforts of the world to become a monk. He traveled across the Eastern Christian world, visiting monasteries and learning from the most pious ascetics of his time. Sophronius became a close companion of John Moscus, a renowned monk and theologian. Together, they traveled extensively, documenting the lives of holy men in their famous work, The Spiritual Meadow. But Sophronius was not just a man of prayer, he was also a fierce defender of orthodox Christian doctrine. At a time when the heresy of monothelitism threatened the Church, Sophronius passionately argued for the true teaching that Christ had both a divine and human will. In 634, Sophronius was elected Patriarch of Jerusalem. He led the Church with wisdom and courage during a turbulent period, as the Muslim conquest swept through the region. When Jerusalem fell to the forces of Caliph Umar in 637, Sophronius negotiated the surrender, ensuring that Christian holy sites would be respected and that Christians could continue to worship freely. Despite his efforts, he grieved over the loss of the holy city and passed away in 638, leaving behind a legacy of theological clarity and unwavering faith. Today, Saint Sophronius is remembered as a saint, theologian, and defender of the true faith. His writings, prayers, and legacy continue to inspire the faithful around the world. Let us then weep, brethren, let us weep for ourselves and for our brothers who have abandoned the light of truth. In the heart of 9th century Moorish Spain, where faith and persecution walked hand in hand, arose a man of unwavering conviction. His name was Saint Eulogius, a priest, a scholar, and a martyr whose courage inspired generations. Born in the vibrant city of Córdoba, Eulogius grew up in an era where the Christian faith was tested by the ruling Islamic authorities. Gifted with intellect and a deep devotion to Christ, he pursued religious studies and became a priest. Dedicating his life to shepherding his fellow Christians, Eulogius was not just a man of prayer, he was a man of letters. As a scholar, He wrote against the oppression of Christians and encouraged steadfastness in the faith. His writings became a beacon of hope for those facing persecution. But his defiance did not go unnoticed. His unwavering stance led to his arrest. Though imprisoned, Eulogius continued to strengthen the faith of his fellow captives. He also wrote the Memorial of the Saints, chronicling the lives of martyrs to inspire others to stand firm. His fate was sealed when he defended a young Christian woman named Leocretia, who had converted from Islam. His refusal to renounce Christ led to his execution on March 11, 859. Saint Eulogius was beheaded, his blood sealing his testimony of faith. His legacy endures, a reminder that faith is worth every sacrifice. The courage of Saint Eulogius echoes through time, calling us to stand firm in our beliefs, no matter the cost. Quote from Saint Eulogius, "Fear not those who kill the body, but cannot kill the soul." Matthew 10 verse 28, may we, like Saint Eulogius, hold fast to our faith with unwavering courage. Saint Eulogius, pray for us. In the year 295 AD, in the Roman province of Numidia, North Africa, a young Christian named Maximilian stood before a Roman proconsul. He was not a rebel, nor a criminal, he was a man of faith, unwilling to compromise his conscience. Maximilian was the son of a veteran soldier and, according to Roman law, was required to enlist in the military. However, he refused, stating boldly, "I cannot serve. I am a Christian. It is not lawful for me to bear arms." To the Roman authorities, this was an act of defiance. Service in the legions was considered a duty, an honor, and a necessity for the empire's security. But Maximilian held firm.
"You must take the military oath. If you refuse, you will die."
"I will not take the oath. My loyalty is to Christ alone."
Despite threats and persuasion, Maximilian remained steadfast in his faith. The proconsul had no choice but to sentence him to death. On March 12, 295 AD, Maximilian was executed by the sword. His final words were a declaration of victory.
"Thanks be to God."
His body was taken and buried by fellow Christians, who honored his sacrifice. Over time, Maximilian's story spread, and he was recognized as one of the earliest conscientious objectors, a Christian who refused to take up arms, even at the cost of his own life. Today, Saint Maximilian is venerated as a martyr and a symbol of unwavering faith. His life reminds us that true courage is not in wielding a sword, but in standing firm for one's beliefs, no matter the cost. Saint Maximilian, pray for us. In the annals of history, few names shine as brightly in the early church as that of Pope Saint Innocent I. A man of wisdom, leadership, and unwavering faith, Innocent I guided the church through a tumultuous era, strengthening its authority and defending its doctrines. Born around the year 340 AD, some sources suggest Innocent I was the son of Pope Anastasius I, raised in an era of theological disputes and imperial intrigue. He would one day rise to the papacy and leave an indelible mark on the church. In the year 401 AD, Innocent I ascended to the throne of St. Peter, assuming leadership at a time of great challenge. The Western Roman Empire was under threat from barbarian invasions, and heresies like Pelagianism sought to undermine Christian doctrine. Innocent I was a staunch defender of orthodoxy. He played a crucial role in combating Pelagianism, a heresy denying original sin and the necessity of divine grace. His firm stance on doctrinal matters established the authority of Rome as the final arbiter in theological disputes. Beyond doctrine, Innocent I was instrumental in shaping the structure of the Church. His numerous letters and decrees reinforced the primacy of the Roman See, establishing the Pope as the supreme head of Christendom. One of the most defining moments of his papacy was the sack of Rome by Alaric the Visigoth in 410 AD. While Innocent I sought to mediate peace, the city fell to the invaders. Despite this devastation, his leadership provided stability, and he worked tirelessly to restore order and aid the afflicted. After nearly 16 years as Pope, Innocent I passed away in the year 417 AD. His legacy, however, endured. His decisions shaped the future of the papacy, and his unwavering commitment to faith left a lasting impact on the Church. Today, Pope Saint Innocent I is remembered not only as a shepherd of his time but as a pillar of the Church's foundation. His faith, wisdom, and strength in the face of adversity remain an inspiration to Christians worldwide. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please help this small channel grow and reach more souls by subscribing, liking, and sharing. Your support helps spread the message of faith and history to more people. God bless you.